Well, okay. Um, I haven't done a video for maybe just 1 second. I think the last video I did was when I was advertising, promoting my game Galar, Plague of Heroes, back in 2017. So 5 years. Uh, I don't like doing the video thing, and I don't like taking pictures of myself anymore and all that crap. So this is pretty rare for me to do this. So I just think I should put out a disclaimer first. What I'm about to tell you uh, that helped me live a normal life um, is not for everyone. Um, I just want to put this disclaimer out. Please do not, uh, follow my lead without talking to who you trust. Um, it could be dangerous. You could die from this. If you're like me, who's an addict, it's quite possible that you can die from attempting this, depending on the medications that you're currently on for whatever disorder you might have. So I am in no way, shape, or form saying I'm smarter than a doctor or a nurse, or saying that I'm a doctor or a nurse, or promoting this in any way, shape, or form. I'm simply making a video and explaining what I felt I had to do to save my own life and to help basically heal myself, because the healthcare system is just, there's no help. I mean, there is, but sometimes you really have to be your own advocate, and I'm not very good at standing up for myself. I'm good at standing up for others, but not for myself. It's always been that way. Um, so I just want to not have any responsibility placed on me if you choose to do what I did. I would suggest, if you have absolutely no other alternative at all, and you've talked to people, talk to the people who have prescribed your medications, who know your diet, who know your body well. If you have that sort of relationship with anyone, whether it be a GP, general practitioner, or whether it's a mental health therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever. I have them all. I've got a psychologist, I've got a psychiatrist, I've got a GP. I've actually got a family doctor, so I'm damn lucky, and I know that. So about 3.5 months ago, just to cut to the chase here now, I've been babbling for a while. After a relapse of alcohol, I noticed that my acid reflux had gotten completely out of control, and for approximately 3.5 months ago, I was vomiting blood. I was vomiting everything I put into my body, and I had been sober for 2 weeks, and that's not normal for my cycle. Like, when I relapse, I usually am sick for about 7 days, and then I'm able to eat again, drink water again, keep food down, keep water, all that. So it's been going on for 2 weeks. I'd been sober with no improvement. So I called my family doctor and found out he was on vacation. Found out my psychologist is on a leave of absence, and was not able to get in touch with her. Psychiatrist, can't reach her by phone, by email anymore. It's like everyone just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. So I spent, I think it was at least a dozen trips in 3.5 months to the hospital, because after throwing up every day for months and not having absorbed the nutrients that food and liquid provide especially the food, I become dehydrated and in danger of some really serious health complications based on that. So uh, I've been rushed to hospital many times, many times in the last 3.5 months. I've been to a walk-in clinic 5 times. Meanwhile, they've prescribed me pantoprazole, omeprazole, ranitidine, and finally rabeprazole. And what these medications do, they're H2 blockers, and according to Wiki or whatever source you want to trust, their function is to reduce the amount of stomach acid produced in the body so that it allows for your stomach lining to heal if in fact there's been some damage due to excess coffee drinking, alcoholism, which is my case, right? So in the first few trips to the hospital, they said, well, this is a direct result of your alcoholism for so many years. And I said, yep, my bad. I totally make sense. I totally get it, doc. It's my fault. I'm not blaming anybody. This sucks. So they referred me to a gastrologist, and what's done generally when you're having stomach issues is an endoscopy or scope. You basically put it down your throat, and they do a biopsy, and they find out whether or not there's bacteria there's tissue damage, whatever, and then the proper diagnosis can be made. Now, due to COVID and all the craziness and all the influx of people coming to this country and all the massive our population here in Nova Scotia is probably, I don't even know the numbers, but I mean, I can't walk anywhere without running into somebody within 10 feet of me. There's so many people here, housing crisis, there's nowhere to live. So basically, with all these new people coming in and with the healthcare system taxed the way it is, and also with the healthcare system letting go people that aren't vaccinated and being very stringent on that and having a lack of staff due to that, it's created even more strain on an already strained system. So I was told months, maybe years before I would get a scope done. Meanwhile, I would be fine one day, maybe I'd throw up in the morning and I'd be okay. The following day I could be throwing up from 5:30 in the morning right through to 4 or 5 p.m. at night, and I'd either grin and bear it, pass out once in a while from exhaustion, or hospitalization, like I said. So the doctors really tried their best, and they had no idea what was wrong with me. They prescribed me all this medication, nothing was working. Also, at the same time, I was on a drug called fluoxetine, which is for anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder, among other things, which worked really, really good for me. And it made me kind of feel a little bit lighter on my feet, felt a little bit happier. But when I went to renew my prescription, MSI had declined it and I needed some sort of authorization from my family doctor to get the okay again, and he was on vacation, and so I went weeks without this very necessary anti-anxiety medication. And I saw, according to if you look it up, side effects of withdrawal from this fluoxetine can be suicidal thoughts, it can be vomiting and all sort of stuff. So I thought that was maybe contributing to my overall decline in health and making my stomach even worse. So again, I'm just trying to really do my own research, because I called 811 6 times. They kind of really didn't know what I was talking about. They couldn't follow my logic. It's basically a process of deduction, right? So you take variables in, you take variables out, and see what's working. But you also ask a healthcare professional or someone who knows what they're doing, whether or not any sort of withdrawal or any sort of side effects are possible, right? Because there's so much to know, and I am not a doctor, and I will never proclaim to be one. But there are side effects to all these medications that, can be worse than the actual symptoms themselves of whatever you have. So anyway, for 3.5 months, I've been having this issue. I've lost almost 30 pounds. I mean, if I turn sideways, I almost disappear. I've lost so much body mass. So here's my thing. So again, I'm desperate. I'm crying every day. I'm in pain. Some days I'm fine. I'm fine for maybe 2 or 3 days. I'm able to volunteer at Souls Harbor because that's what I do. I volunteer and help the homeless and the low income, feeding families and stuff, right? So that's feel like why I'm still around, right? And for my son. So I wasn't able to lead a normal life, and I wasn't really getting any help, and I was just sort of on a waiting period. So I was desperate. So here's what I did. I stopped all of my medication at once, completely. So I had already been a month and a half, no, sorry, 2.5 months roughly off of my fluoxetine anyway, which they say it could take 2 to 3 months for the withdrawal symptoms to disappear. But I got off my H2 blockers, and the reason why, after doing my own research, is that there is a possibility after you use H2 blockers for an extended period of time that an overgrowth of bacteria could be found in your system. And what this does is it creates bad bacteria that the body doesn't really know how to get rid of. You can try and replace it with good bacteria, probiotics, yogurt, which is what I was trying to do, throwing it all up all the time. I couldn't keep anything down. So that was kind of, that to me made the most sense because I was able to get a stool sample test done, and I tested negative for H. pylori, which in my error thought that I didn't have gastritis, which was caused by the alcoholism. However, having H. pylori or not does not indicate whether or not I have gastritis or not. The endoscopy, the biopsy is really the tall tale of what I would need to know in order to know exactly what was going on. But again, waiting months or even years for this, I can't wait. I'm literally was getting to the point of suicidal thoughts, just living in constant pain, right? Maybe this is what stomach cancer patients feel like. I don't know. But I had no painkillers, nothing. So what I did was I stopped everything. I had quit my fluoxetine because I couldn't get a hold of my doctor, and he couldn't renew with MSI for whatever sort of bullshit reason, bureaucratic reason as to why I needed some sort of go-ahead, even though I've been on this for years. I quit, of course I quit drinking. I quit smoking, I quit smoking a long time ago. But I mean, all of these things, all of them I did cold turkey, and I think it can be extremely dangerous. And I'm speaking mostly to people who are on with medications. It could produce suicidal ideologies. It could, you just have to look and see, so I'm not recommending anyone really do this, and if something goes wrong, blame me for it. If you're desperate and you're in a waiting game and no one can help you, and you've been to the hospital 16 times, and you've called 811 6 times, and I've been to 5 walk-in clinics, all different ones, some appointments, some not. You've been tested for this, you've been tested for that. They refuse to give you antibiotics because given the wrong antibiotics without a proper diagnosis can actually make the symptoms worse, according to the doctors that I spoke to, and that's what their ideas are. And not only that, we're in general running out of antibiotics that actually work for the body. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but this was confirmed by a paramedic and 2 emergency doctor staff at the QE2 hospital. When I was there, there's a serious crisis. Well, it's coming, but basically antibiotics in general there really hasn't been any new antibiotics produced since in 50 years. So the antibiotics that we've been given to treat various illnesses, which work very, very well, the body is somehow adapting and becoming immune to these, so they're becoming ineffective. So I can understand why they didn't want to put me on antibiotics, because it could be a serious problem and make things worse. So I said, yeah, you're the doc. Okay, I get it. I'm just desperate. I'm just in pain, and I'm running out of options. I'm losing my mind here. So I quit everything. Don't drink, don't smoke. Got rid of my deep fryer. I eat yogurt, probiotics, mostly. And within 24 hours, which apparently is the lifespan, it takes 24 hours for this H2 blocker, rabeprazole, to be expunged from the body. Within 24 hours, immediately, like almost to the minute, I felt normal. I didn't feel nauseous. I didn't feel sick. I wasn't throwing up. I stopped there. I felt no pain. I felt nothing. And I thought, well, it could be maybe, because I haven't been on my fluoxetine for 2.5 months. Maybe that's it. Maybe my withdrawal from that was what was causing me to be so sick. But what are the friggin' odds, right? Within 24 hours, which is exactly the lifespan, or how long it takes for the H2 blocker to leave the body with no side effects whatsoever. I'm fine. This is day 9. I haven't thrown up, haven't been nauseous. I'm okay. I feel great. This is the first time I haven't been on any medication since I was 8 years old. I was prescribed Anafranil back in 1988 when I was 8 for obsessive compulsive disorder, and I've been prescribed ever since. And I asked the doctors, I said, what if I just go off everything? Just say, fuck it, just go off of everything. Just try it. Doctors didn't want that. They said, well, it'll increase your acid. Your acid might come back tenfold and make your esophagus even worse. And then when we do get around to giving you the endoscopy, then there'll be more damage, right? I thought, yeah. So I'm willing to take a chance. I've done my research, and anything's better than what I was going through. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. And I have some enemies out there, and I wouldn't wish this on them. This is too much pain. So I went against doctor's orders, and I'm fine. I've never felt healthier. I'm completely unmedicated and diagnosed with some very serious mental health issues. So healing myself, that's what I had to do. In order to find out what worked for me, I took a chance, and it worked. Now maybe next week I might come back. Maybe there's a delayed reaction to these things. I don't know, but I'll take it one day at a time. Because that's how I live. Being an addict, it's one day at a time. That's how we live. We can't look ahead. We can't plan. We have to just deal with life on life's terms every day. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I just wanted everyone to know what I did personally. It's my own personal decision, not a recommendation for anyone to try. But if you're desperate, research on your own. Do your own research. It might save your life. And in my case, it didn't save my life in that it prevented from killing me. But I have a life now. And I didn't have a life for over 3 months. I couldn't leave my bed. I was throwing up constantly, every 5 to 7 minutes for 10 to 12 hours a day. What kind of life is that? It's no life. So don't be quick to just jump on the bandwagon of pills this, pills that, If you find yourself getting sick and sicker and sicker, and you're not getting the answers that you need, and there's a lineup of people ahead of you, and you're just a number, fight for yourself. Trust your gut. Pardon the pun, but trust your gut. Trust your gut instinct. That's what I've had to do. That's what I've done for the last couple of years during this whole COVID shit. I've trusted my gut, and so far, outside of these stomach issues, I've been fine. Lonely as hell and depressed, but fine. Lost a lot of friends, a lot of people who called me in conspiracy theorist, nut job, whatever. They didn't want to hear it. And they got really, really sick. They messaged me. I said, thought you thought I was crazy. I said, well, try this, That's all I'm doing. I want people to be well. I do. I generally want people to be well. And I just just really hurts when your heart's in the right place. You may do the wrong thing, but at least your intentions are pure and solid, and you still get treated like shit from people that you really love. So, or cast out of a family because you're not vaccinated. So, anyway, I'm still holding strong and true, and I won't back down from any of that, from anyone. I will always keep an open mind, and I will never conform myself to the beliefs and ideologies that I currently have today, because things could change, and at least I have a mind and an ability to change my mind, even if it scares me. And I just hope that you can find the strength to do the same. So that's my spiel. That's my pitch. That's what helped me. And I've actually had a few people private message me. I think one guy even posted on my wall too. They were like, "This is it, Graham. Like, this is exactly what my life has been like, or this is exactly what I'm going through. Thank you for being so candid and so real and so honest about your struggles, and and that's why I do it, right?" But then you'll see the odd crazy angry ass post, and that's when I'm drunk, and that's when I cannot be talked to. I just get into a zone where I'm very, very angry at the world, and it's not good to talk to me. It's just good to just ignore me and let me work through it, and then get off the binge, and then try to find myself again, pick myself back up. And that's what my life's been like for over 10 years now. So anyway, love you guys. I just wanted to let you know what I did, and if you have any questions, just private message me. If you're too shy or too intimidated to come out and post how, "Hey Graham, I agree," or "Hey Graham, you're full of shit," I get it. It's cool. So to each their own. Peace. And yeah, just don't back down. Bye.